former governor of Cross River State between 1999 and the year 2007, Donald Duke, and he was also presidential candidate of the SDP in the 2019 elections, says he doesn't feel good at the moment. According to him, I am tired and a frustrated Nigerian, because the truth is, we all know we can do a lot more than we are doing right now if the environment were favorable. I find the Nigerian environment very tiresome. And if I am saying so, imagine what people less privileged are going through. You have a lot of young people bustling with energy. They can't express themselves. So they are looking for relief. Either they're trying to leave the country or they easily take to crime. It's all part of the frustration they are going through. I am today a frustrated Nigerian. Chief of Force.
If Donald says he's a frustrated Nigerian, I don't know what I should call myself.
Semi.
I don't know what I should call myself.
Semi-frustrated.
Super frustrated.
Apparently, myself and Duke from the same
Axis.
Cross River State, Akwa Ibom State, former Cross River State. And first, what did, apart from the Tinapa fraud, a lot of things, the only thing he could do was to bring sanity to Calabar, make it look clean, and the rest of it. There was no obvious infrastructural development that could really empower people. There was no job creation that could really help people. That was why his ambition to become Nigerian president was not very quite exciting to some of us at the end of the day. If Mr. Duke wants to know those who are frustrated, he should come to the street, tour Nigeria. He's a very fortunate Nigerian. He's a very, very fortunate.
He should come to Kajalong on Friday when it's raining.
He's a very fortunate Nigerian, and he lives on the island. He lives in an excluded environment. He flies first class everywhere, and he's still frustrated. Then something is wrong. He should tell us what the problem is. For us, all of us on this studio, I know our networks. I beg to differ. Our net worth is not up to, combined four of us, it's not up to 5 billion.
Apart from Mr. Osagbe.
No. Mr. Osagbe is a government official now, so
he's a billionaire.
He's in the corridors of power.
Oh, yes.
I feel we are the ones to say what Duke is saying. However, if you ask former governor of Lagos State, Ashowa Duke, he will tell you he's also frustrated. It's an English word that you can use the way you want. I feel what they should do, like Peter said here, is that the problem we have in Nigeria is that the moment you exceed power, you waste to grab another one by the time you have the opportunity. They refuse to support the current government. That was why, despite the fact that what JJ did to visit Buhari, I was excited about it, because you know what that did? He actually created calmness among political camps as at that time. Those who love JJ and those who love PMB at that time. The moment during the election in Bayelsa State when Jonathan visited Buhari. No, we should learn how to support
and work together.
That's what I've been able to do in Bijan with the current administration. Despite the fact that I didn't support him to come in. But we must move Nigeria together.
And that is where I have something against Donald Duke. I read Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala's last book, and for any progressive Nigerian, anybody concerned about the Nigerian project, the success of Nigeria, the development of Nigeria, you will not appreciate a Donald Duke. Because the woman took him to cleaners there, that he sounded him out, or rather I heard that Jonathan was looking for a credible finance minister. And they reached out, the Jonathan team reached out to Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. And according to the narrative in that book, this same Donald Duke reached out to Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala to say, don't accept it.
Support him.
Don't accept that appointment. Don't give him legitimacy. Because as at that time, it was whether he would be president or he would be president. And I thought that was devilish. I thought that was undevelopmental. I thought that was wicked. That was against the Nigerian project. And here is he talking about frustration. He is one of those frustrating system. In fact, Donald Duke is trying to hide his wealth. Maybe, I do not know, maybe EFCC are after him or investigating him. and he's trying to
The
create
outcome has been on him.
So he's trying to create an impression that he's an ordinary Nigerian. He can't deceive nobody. He's one of the wealthiest Nigerians that we have seen. The problem with political leaders is that they think that, you know, the trappings of office, as being a former governor, minister, or whatever, is a continuum. No, it is not. It will stop as soon as you leave, and then you begin to live amongst the ordinary people. So what you should now do when you get into office, instead of thinking of how to amass wealth illegally, but rather it is how to make the system better, so that even when you are out of office, you will become,
you can benefit from
it.
that. Okay.
And a typical example was the late Stam David West, and somebody wrote clearly how he became an ordinary person, resorted to his normal person in UI, went back to academics, and joined the queue even during fuel scarcity to buy fuel. It was Nigerians that said, no, you are a former minister, and even your age, we can't allow you to stay in queue. Come to the front and do that.
Okay.
So we must begin to, instead of crying to say he's frustrated, it is Mr. A or Mrs. B that is causing this frustration, they should all go back and now think of how to enthrone proper leadership in this country, so that the entire Nigerian populace will benefit from it.
Okay, who else is jumping in?
From my understanding of what he means by being frustrated, I am frustrated too. We are all frustrated. But why wouldn't we be frustrated with the moribundity, the mediocrity, the mundanity of the system? Nothing is happening. No great dreams, no vision. It's just stagnation, and the youths are out there, no jobs. There's so much money being thrown around, and nothing to show for
Exactly.
it. I read somebody saying that so amount of money was used to build Dubai. More than the amount that is gone into Niger Delta is more than the amount of money that was used to build Dubai. But there's nothing in the
to show for
Niger.
it.
So people have stolen the money and just disrupted everything. Because in the past, Nigeria will always be a corrupt country for historical reasons. But even during the days of Zik and Awolowo, there was corruption. But then politicians stole 5%. The most notoriously corrupt stole 10%. That was corruption, but they did their work and kept some for a rainy day, okay? Yeah. But now it's not corruption anymore. It's what I call piratical depredation of the system, tearing the system down as though you are high sea robbers, as though you are pirates. And so why won't we be frustrated? The system is crumbling steadily. Despite the wealth, the know-how, the knowledge, you see, the potentials of the country, and we see the country just degenerating into imperceptible degradations. The country just keep going down into nothingness. So in that respect, I am frustrated.
It can't be nothing, man. There's always something.
Well, figuratively.
I understand where Donald Duke is coming from. Maybe they didn't choose his words carefully. Basically, what he's saying is that there are no sense of continuity. That there are things that he laid down as a governor that by now will have been generating income and all that. But the world is not frustrated. The systems are created by people, and people are not to operate it. What has happened in Nigeria is the fact that every succeeding government realized the fact that the man before him has not been held to account. I don't see why he should be the first to do the same thing.
So he just goes on.
So the farmer man will steal 50 out of 100 naira. This one will steal 70. Then the man will steal 90. But what we are going right now is that they know that we are even beyond the entire thing. They now get loans to steal.
Wow.
You've stolen the money. You now go for loans so you can steal more. It's what I call the Buccaneering principle. Buccaneers are basically people who invest nothing. I want to grab everything. It's the discrimination of Nigerian elites, to which some of us are also guilty as well. Because the moment, what Duke is saying, I understand very well. Tinapa on paper can be the next Swiss house if there are the continuity. This, what do you call that thing? The moribund element that takes people up during the winter. The hanging tracks.
The metro.
I forgot the name of it. Is what is needed for both Mambela and the farm. The road to the farm is still this size. The hills are still like this. Nobody does that. Because what they're supposed to do is I want me to go to the farm to go to Tinapa, to go to Budu Ranch. You must create the environment for me to do so. The Yoruba man that's coming to look Osun Osogbo Festival, as old as is this, every year they get nothing less than 1,000 Europeans coming to taste the water. It's what you sold that people will buy. But when Donald left, those who came after did not see the Tinapa project and the Budu Ranch as viable alternatives to raise money. So now, 12 years later, the thing is dead. I think that's the point of his frustration. And that again is also his fault. Because when you are putting up legacy projects, you must ensure that the laws that govern it does not allow people to bastardize it.
Okay.
But people do it for the fun of it, that I want my name on it. But they cannot maintain it. I understand his pain because I've been to Budu. It's about the highest point with Mambela in Nigeria. And that place, all these rights you are talking about, that place alone can take nothing less than 500 million bulls on natural gas that can feed the entire country for the next generation.
Wow.
Akoko, you are right. You see, the problem we have in this country is for our leaders to do things to say, I did this. I was one of those people that said, at the time Duke borrowed so much money to do Tinapa, I was one of the people that said it wasn't necessary at that time. As a matter of fact, it wasn't necessary. Tinapa is like the hotel that Akpabio built in Ikoroikpan.
And the stadium.
That 5-star hotel. No, the stadium is fantastic.
The bomb golf this thing.
No, in Ikoroikpan there is this mighty hotel. If you go to Ikoroikpan, no single person would leave airport that is in Oron to drive all the way to go and stay in Ikoroikpan, to live in that hotel and come back to you. Nobody would do it. It was a waste of money. It was a waste of resources. And as at the time you built that hotel, the road that leads from you to that hotel was terribly collapsed. So you cannot, nobody will go there. What we were talking about as at that time is that why didn't you collaborate with government and build Calabar Port first and foremost? Ensure that, let's say, 30% of the shipment that come to Lagos comes to Calabar first. Then I will find out that because from Calabar to Anambra is closer from Lagos to Anambra.
Of course.
Why don't you do that first? And at that point, you have created an employment for people till today. Because if you make Calabar Port and make it
viable,
duty, and your duty is competitive with Lagos, people will prefer to come to Lagos.
That's true.
Now you build Tinapa, and if you go to Tinapa today, it's dilapidated.
Those down.
Everything is gone. You didn't do anything. He borrowed money, and Prosper said, still pay the loan he borrowed up to tomorrow. We shouldn't do that as people. If he had first and foremost created a road that will serve Tinapa, let him not build Tinapa. Somebody else created the road that will lead to Tinapa, or created a rail from Calabar to the Tinapa.
Cable cars, that's the word I'm looking for. Cable cars.
Cable cars, okay.
All right, so from frustrated Donald Duke.
I am frustrated, very frustrated.
Millionaire has not spoken.
He has.
I've spoken. I agree with everything.
Yeah.